The ultimate ambience. The question of this video, how does the SP-404 MK2 hang with ambient music? So obviously the workflow of the SP-404 lends itself to sampling, maybe using the pattern sequencer, uploading or recording samples onto each pad, and then maybe processing it from there. Ambient is a totally different thing though. You're stepping outside of the sampling realm. And so what does ambient and SP-404 MK2 mean to me? Multi-effects. So in this case, we'll be running a boutique Juno 60 or 106, the JU06A, through the MK2. And we'll be experimenting and seeing which effects are the best for ambient. If you're working with the Juno 60, chances are it's gonna sound a little bit synthwavy as well. So we'll call this synthwave / ambient. I've chosen these two as a combo because they are very, very juicy. Really just can't go wrong with the JU06A in my opinion. I've actually already done a few multi-effects focused videos here on YouTube, which I've linked in the description. And if you'd like to know how all of the MK2 multi-effects sound, that's a video for you. If you are someone who buys gear from the internet, and I'm assuming if you're here, you are one of those people, I encourage you to use any of the affiliate links in the description of any of my videos. There's links for the MK2 as well as the JU06A in the description of this video, of course. I've also included a list of other hot synths. If there's anything you feel that's missing or you think that I should add to this list, check it out and let me know. Purchasing your gear using those affiliate links is one of the best ways of supporting what I do and to keep this train running. There's no extra charge if you end up using those links, so it's kind of a win-win for both of us. So the first thing I'll mention here is the setup. It's very simple. I've got an old school 5-pin media cable plugged into the out of the JU06A, so the tempo is coming from the Juno. I've got my sequencer right here. If I press edit, the tempo shows up, which I could change, and this tracks into the MK2. From there, hit shift and utility system and head over to MIDI right here. Make sure that MIDI sync is set to MIDI. With this ambient sort of flavor though, I'm not even sure if syncing is really that necessary. With some of these effects, you have the option to take sync off. I think that's a better option for this ambient, wishy-washy sort of flavor. You may or may not know by now that the SP-404 has 4 bus effects, which is an amazing addition. Buses 3 or 4 I use as master effects, so something that affects the entire track. Right now I'm working on 303 vinyl simulation on bus 3, and bus 4 I have Juno chorus, which I may or may not remove depending on the track. It definitely doesn't sound as clean with the chorus, but it adds a certain quirkiness and depth there that I really enjoy. Now, let's take a look at some effects, shall we? Prepare yourselves for a lot of arpeggios. We'll start with Hadou. This one sort of reminds me of Valhalla Supermassive. It's a reverb, like, modulation plugin. If you don't already have it, it's free, so go check it out. Very bizarre stuff. If anything, you might want to use it a bit more subtly unless you want to get weird like I just did. With a lot of MK2 effects, there is a second page as well. You just hit enter, this button here, while you're on the effects, and here we have an EQ control. So if I want, I could cut maybe the lows, maybe a bit of the highs as well. Something like that. Let me just change a few settings here. We're going to give that one more try. Kendama. This is basically a ping pong delay, and if you want, you could switch it back to a single mode delay. You have the option here on page 2, as well as another EQ control. So right away, I'm just gonna cut the low end, maybe a bit of the highs as well. Zan-Zou. I love this multi-effects. It adds like a nice airy ambience to the top of your mix. Depending on how it's being used, I think that this is actually my favorite one. One thing that I did notice though is that if there's not a lot of high end in the part that you're adding this to, you're not really going to hear it that much. So for example, if I play an arpeggio like this, I actually also have a pattern sequence here, and I love how it interacts with the drums. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I am so into that flavor. Nothing new here. This one is available on the earlier 404 models, and it does sound great. I could see why they decided to include it on the MK2 as well. The thing that makes this one unique is the second page. So you have wow and flutter rate and an option of modes. So these modes represent tape heads, an emulation of that analog sound. You have small, medium, large, and then a combination of some of them. Each tape head size has a different flavor to it. Time control delay. So yet another delay option with the MK2. I mean, always good to have options, I guess. Let's take a look at the parameters. Very simple. There is a tempo sync here, which I turned off, and an EQ control as well. I like to cut the low end as per usual. Because we've already checked out some other delays, let's have some fun with this one. We're going to utilize the bus effects button here. This button here is, in my opinion, the most important aspect of the MK2. We have all of these wonderful effects to choose from, and now we have the option of adding another effects on top of that in real time during a performance. You could jump back and forth by just hitting the effects button and then adding a new multi-effects like that. So it's safe to say we're about to approach ambient level 3000. I'm curious what you guys think of the MK2. Do you think it holds up for ambient music? Is there any multi-effects or anything else that you yourself would have included on this list? Reminder that there are Perfect Circuit affiliate links in the description of this video in case you're interested in possibly purchasing either of these. Below that is a list of other affiliate links of instruments that you may be interested in purchasing. I've been making a point of making these links very easy to access for you guys to use. So yeah, that's all I've got for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this combo as much as I did. All other SP-404 content linked in the description. Hope you subscribe, and I will see you guys soon.